Founded the same year as NASA, Florida Institute of Technology helped put the space in the Space Coast. Aerospace is in our DNA. It's what we did first, and it's what we do best.
Florida Tech is developing engineers with the skill sets foundational to the aerospace industry and companies like Northrop Grumman here on the Space Coast.
The best place to put the Florida Institute of Technology is the Space Coast here in Melbourne, Florida.
Our work and your industry go hand in hand. Florida Tech stands for aerospace. Florida Tech stands for the Space Coast. Florida Institute of Technology is building a new bridge for the Space Coast, the Health Sciences Research Center, a bridge between engineering and anatomy, math and medicine, software and soft tissue.
The healthcare industry depends on scientific advancement and innovation, and that's why having Florida Tech here on the Space Coast is so valuable.
The best place to put the Florida Institute of Technology is the Space Coast here in Melbourne, Florida.
Our work and your health go hand in hand. Florida Tech stands for biomedical engineering and health sciences. Florida Tech stands for the Space Coast. Disruptive innovation depends on secure data, and Florida Institute of Technology helps meet the demand for both. We dream in binary code. Information assurance is part of our programming.
When it comes to cybersecurity and AI, Florida Tech is a great asset to the Space Coast.
The best place to put the Florida Institute of Technology is the Space Coast here in Melbourne, Florida.
Our work and your future go hand in hand. Florida Tech stands for cybersecurity and AI. Florida Tech stands for the Space Coast. Florida Institute of Technology treasures its home near the Indian River Lagoon and Atlantic Ocean. Seawater flows through our veins. Through in-depth marine research, we make waves.
Having Florida Tech as part of our community allows us to do world-class research along the Indian River Lagoon.
The best place to put the Florida Institute of Technology is the Space Coast here in Melbourne, Florida.
Our work and the local environment go hand in hand. Florida Tech stands for marine science and ocean engineering. Florida Tech stands for the Space Coast.
If 2020 has taught us anything, is that we must rise together through adversity.
Whether it's a global pandemic, racism, or social injustice, we can only get through these challenges if we work together.
Here at Florida Tech, we're one of the most diverse universities in the world.
There are over 30 states and 30 countries represented in our athletics department alone.
Us Panthers come in many different sizes and colors and express ourselves differently based on gender, sexual orientation, religion, or cultural beliefs.
Our diversity is our greatest strength here at Florida Tech.
We must rise together and be leaders on our campus and in our community.
Together we rise to keep our fellow Panthers, campus, and community safe during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Together we rise to make sure everyone feels empowered to be themselves.
Together we rise to make sure everyone receives equal treatment.
Together we rise to fight bigotry and hate.
No matter the obstacles, we must rise together to embrace our different strengths as one Panther family. As Panthers, together we rise.
Together we rise.
Live from Florida Tech Panther Stadium in Melbourne, it's Panther Women's Lacrosse. Tonight, it's a Sunshine State Conference matchup as the Panthers host the top 10 ranked University of Tampa Spartans. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. Jerry Durney here with you on the Florida Tech Sports Network. And for the Panthers, entered tonight at 0-4, but some progress made last time out. They went on the road to Winter Park to take on a Rollins team hovering around the top 10 in both polls, and they gave Rollins a game that was back and forth all the way through. Florida Tech led 6-4 with 10 minutes to go, but Rollins are a top 10 team for a reason. They were able to claw back. They tied it with about 6.5 minutes to go, and then about midway through the extra period, Abigail Cawley with the winner for a 7-6 win for Rollins in overtime. And yes, it's a loss all the same, but certainly a lot of progress to be made for a Florida Tech team that just a couple of days before had gotten routed at home by St. Leo 19-6. And talking in pregame with Mackenzie Rafferty, she said the biggest thing was how much more organized they were defensively. She said just as a unit that this team looked so much better. She said maybe the biggest thing on offense was they worked better on possessing the ball and being able to stretch the defense out, getting better looks for our shooters, and stretching the defense out and making those extra passes. But they will face quite a challenge tonight in Tampa, a team that has been near the top of the conference in recent years, and they look to be a pretty good challenger to Florida Southern this year. Matter of fact, in the two major polls this week, in the IWLCA poll, the Spartans are 8th, and in the U.S. Lacrosse Magazine poll, they're 5th. They've had a pretty impressive start so far to the campaign. They're 3-1. They won at home against a St. Leo team that was number 20 in the country coming in. They won that game 10-9. Had a then 7th-ranked Rollins team at home that they beat 13-9. Went down to West Palm and beat PBA 18-12. Their lone loss coming this past Wednesday night at home to Florida Southern, 13-9. They'll get another crack at them in about 11 days. But for Tampa, this is a team that very much was in a position that Florida Tech was in a few years ago. They're right there. They are getting the national recognition. They're very talented. They've just got to break the Florida Southern ceiling, and that's easier said than done. Two teams going through the stick checks right now, so let's give you tonight's starting lineups. First, for Tampa under the guidance of Kelly Gallagher, here's how they'll look tonight. They're going to go with 3 in defense and 6 in midfield. I imagine 2 of those probably drop back. Alex Walling, the 5'2 freshman from San Diego, will get the start. In defense, it'll be Alexis Cadillo, the graduate student out of Millstone, New Jersey, along with sophomore Danny Waters and the sophomore out of Maryland in Paige Short. They stack the midfield, and that'll be led by the conference's leading scorer in Gracie Columbo, the freshman out of Waxhaw, North Carolina. She'll be joined by Jeannie Santarpaio, a transfer from Jacksonville, Erin Sistek, Gia Columbo, CC's older sister, who's a transfer from Lenore Rhine, along with Olivia Mott and Riley McGettigan. In the attack, it's Lauren Mcneil and Hannah Bush, who's been one of the top scorers the last few years in the SSC. For Florida Tech, couple of changes, but in net, we'll see Emily Harris joined in defense tonight. It'll be Ashley Walter, along with Maggie Reed, the birthday girl, Brooke Albert, and Olivia Going. In midfield, we'll see Caroline McLeod, Kaylee O'Brien, Millie Hurt, and Molly Kaplan. And in attack, it'll be Alexis Townsend, Rachel Johnson, and Madison Savjay. North Florida Tech under the guidance of Mackenzie Rafferty in her 3rd season. This year being joined on the coaching staff by Maddie Fields, who was one of the 2 Panther goalies last season, but she had used up all of her eligibility, having played at Division I Hofstra. She was here for her 5th year, so she was out. So she couldn't get an extra COVID year, but she'll be a part of the staff this year here at Florida Tech. And these two teams have not met in quite a few years. Of course, last year, no conference matchups at all. We didn't get far enough into the season for there to be any conference matchups. But for Florida Tech, their last meeting came back on April 3rd, 2019. So exactly 2 years ago today was the last time these two teams met, and the Spartans won that game 11-6 here in Melbourne. Matter of fact, the last few times these two teams have met have been in Melbourne. April 27th, 2018. Tampa came here. Panthers won that night 20-8. But it's been a pretty even meeting between these two. Matter of fact, the Panthers have won all 3 games in Tampa. And Tampa's lone win was here. So far, it's been a 5-1 series in favor of Florida Tech. Spartans would like to change that trend. Of course, that night for Florida Tech, that lineup already looking a lot different to the one that you will see tonight. We'll look at that in a little bit. It's going to be time for the national anthem, so we'll step aside, and then we will be back with the opening face-off here between Florida Tech and Tampa here on the Florida Tech Sports Network. And welcome back here on the Florida Tech Sports Network. Jerry Durney here with you. Just about time for the opening face-off in this one between Florida Tech and Tampa. 66 degrees at start time this evening. Wind out of the north at about 8 miles per hour, gusting to 10. We expect it to stay between the north and the northeast at about 10 to 20 miles per hour throughout this one. So it'll be a bit of a cooler night. Much cooler than the last time we were out here. Our officiating crew for tonight, as you see out there on the field, heading to their spots, and it's Charity Cox, Al Grimaldi, and Deb Savino. Glad you're with us here on FloridaTechSports.com. We talked about how different the lineups were for Florida Tech that night. The last time these two teams played, which was exactly 2 years ago tonight here in this stadium, left over from that game for Florida Tech, Caroline McLeod played, Alexis Townsend and Molly Kaplan started, Kaylee O'Brien started, Olivia Going started, and that's it. So you're looking at about 4 starters from that game, 5 players in total. And even Tampa's roster looks a little bit different from that game. Lauren Mcneil still very much playing here. Lizzie Pierpoint still playing here for Tampa. Alexis Scadillo still part of the lineup. Erin Sistek is still on the roster. But other than that, a largely turned over roster for Tampa. Tampa scored 7 in the first half that night to win that game 9-2. Tampa last year, before everything shut down in mid-March, they were 6-1. Their lone loss coming to number 5 Lindenwood. That had a pretty impressive run last year. They doubled up Alabama Huntsville. They beat Newberry, Lenore Rhine, Concordia St. Paul, North Greenville, and they finished with a 16-5 win over number 17 Limestone. So, much like the Panthers last year, this felt like a Tampa team that was truly on the rise, and it's one of those things that you just would have liked to have seen how that would have all played out, but we'll never know. In the center circle, it looks like Molly Kaplan will be on the draw control duty this evening to start. I beg your pardon, that's Caroline McLeod. The Panthers will win it, however, and it's Millie Hurd, although she is immediately stripped. And it's going to be won back by Gracie Columbo, the freshman out of Waxhaw, North Carolina, product of Charlotte Latin School. 2019, the Spartans went 14-4, 5-1 in the league, and actually got all the way to the Sunshine State Conference title game. They got to overtime of the SSC title game, and they are in the lead, not even 30 seconds in. It's Lauren Mcneil, the junior out of Sayville, New York. So Mcneil gets the goal, and that is her 6th of the season. And that's good for second on the team with Gracie Columbo. Trails only Centaur Pio in that department. The Panthers trailing 30 seconds into this one, and you want to see that defensive organization put to the test, and the Panthers still haven't had their first attack just yet. We mentioned Tampa in 2019 got to overtime against Florida Southern in the SSC title game. They lost that one 19-18. Ultimately lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament to Queens in a regional that they hosted. And on the draw control, it's still up for grabs. This might be won by Kaplan, and it will be. Kaplan getting the draw control there, and the Panthers looking to start their first attack of this game. Should be shadowed by Santarpio, graduate out of Moorestown, New Jersey. Kaylee O'Brien in the middle, works it over for Going. Or I should say that's Johnson. There's Townsend working back behind the Spartan goal. She'll be shadowed by Sistek, sophomore out of Whitehall, Maryland. Imagine their paths have crossed at some point for the SSC. O'Brien working it back to McLeod, and now into the middle for Kaplan, about 25 yards out, 40 on the possession clock. Here's Townsend. Here's what Mackenzie Rafferty was talking about, was being able to stretch that defense out, just keep moving the ball. Don't let them get set. Kaplan looking for that screen. Instead plays it back behind the net for Townsend, having a little bit of trouble there. Good job of being able to recover that and gets it back to Kaplan. 15 to shoot, however. Florida Tech still trying to find that first shot on target. It's McLeod. Back to O'Brien. Inside 10 seconds to shoot. So O'Brien about 15 yards away. She'll take a run at the goal, and the save will be made by Alex Walling, the 5'2 freshman out of San Diego. And to be a 5'2 goalie, you have to have a presence, and you've got to have those reflexes. We saw it there from Walling. Tampa quickly the other way, and this was what Mackenzie Rafferty feared. She said they're good on breakaways. And a whistle will stop play there. .27:34 to go in the first half. It'll be a free position attempt for Tampa, so about 10 yards out. And they're looking to double the lead just over 2 minutes into the game. Run through and a save, and I think Emily Harris got to stick to it and got some help from the post on that one. The attempt there from Hannah Bush, the sophomore from Maryland. They play it over to Maggie Reed, and Bush is all over her, and Olivia Going will come and help her out. Did a good job of clearing off. Going being chased, and that's going to be a whistle there against McGettigan. Freshman from Skippack, Pennsylvania. It's a bit of a timeshare for Tampa in net. We see Walling tonight. This is her third start. Bridget Sutter, the senior, has started 2. So those two had actually split the first 4 games, and the minutes are pretty even as well. Walling coming into this one had played just under 132 minutes. Sutter has played 108 minutes. So they've been able to rotate the two pretty evenly, which is good for them, with Walling being a freshman and Sutter is a senior. So you get the experience, but you make sure that the heir apparent gets a lot of work too. This is McLeod on that right side, about 10 yards out to Townsend. Townsend with 13 to shoot. Panthers up against it again, and that one got away from Kaplan. Florida Tech might just have to fire this one away as the shot clock down to 5. Kaplan surrounded by 3 black shirts. Possession still hasn't quite changed, and now the Spartans do get it. And there's going to be a whistle there against McLeod on the trip against Santarpio. Santarpio, a transfer out of Jacksonville University. She's been pretty potent this year. Through 4 games, 9 goals, 3 assists, 8 ground balls, 11 draw controls, and 2 caused turnovers. She actually had a pretty good career at JU. A couple of Division I transfers on this team. Now the Panther defense, you see a bit more of that solidity that we saw on Wednesday night in Winter Park. And a whistle there. And that was against Tampa. I think that was away from the ball there. Florida Tech will take it. So coming up on 5 minutes into this one, Tampa leading on that early goal from Mcneil, her 6th of the season. Olivia Mott will get credited with the assist. That's her 2nd. And for Florida Tech, they've gone deep into the shot clock on each of the first 2 possessions, and I don't think that's by accident. I think the best you want to do here is make sure that you're not giving that Tampa offense any extra opportunities. And you'll see one right here. They get the strip, and they work pretty quickly. With it is Mott, the freshman from Long Island. There to meet her. And it looks like Walter guiding that one away on the ground. There's a reason that Tampa have been so good early on. They've been right to every ball, but it's going to be a whistle against Tampa. I mean, the way Tampa swarmed early, it just seems like every time there's a Panther with a stick on the ball, there's 3 black shirts there too. Kaplan over to Townsend. We see it in the Florida Tech offensive approach. They've been very methodical, and that's not a bad thing. You can see how good this Tampa team is with the ball early on. And hey, why give them any extra chances to prove that? And as a defense, that can be frustrating because you know what you can do, and you're thinking, hey, if we can just get one away here, we're off to the races. And that can make you start doing things that you wouldn't normally do. So that might be a plan for Florida Tech, is maybe to kind of bait them out of their defensive game plan by frustration. And a whistle there late as Kaplan was going to the net, and then she fed it over to Savjay. And I think there might have been a late foul there on Tampa. So it's going to be a free position opportunity here for Molly Kaplan. Big chance for Florida Tech to level up early in this game. Panthers so far this year, 9 of 28 in free position opportunities. They've got a chance to draw level here. They'll play it back instead for Townsend. Townsend to O'Brien in the center. Townsend again went low, and Walling equal to the task. And not afraid to venture out of the goal was Walling. There were a few gray shirts in the area, and she was not afraid of what potential consequences there could have been. So pretty fearless back there. And it remains 1-0 to Tampa. This is Mcneil, a junior from Sayville, New York. Responsible for the game's only goal to this point. Officially a senior, but she's going to get that extra year back with COVID eligibility. Mcneil last year, 4 goals in 6 games. She played club ball on Long Island for the Long Island Yellow Jackets. Florida Tech able to deal with the danger there, and it's Maggie Reed, the birthday girl today. Freshman out of Middletown, Maryland. Going up with it And Olivia tonight chasing some history. If she forces 2 caused turnovers, she'll become the 3rd Panther in history with 100. She would join Brittany Embry and Sam Shiano in that category. And in fact, if she gets 3, she'll tie Brittany's career total for 2nd. Here's Rachel Johnson. It was her first touch of the night. Morgan Leonard seeing some action. She'll lay it for Kaylee O'Brien, who goes right to center. Johnson had the hat trick on Wednesday night. She's got 10 on the season, and she's got a very bright future. Not everything's gone exactly according to plan this season, but you can see it with Rachel Johnson early on. That is going to be a shining light for this team the next few years, and someone you can build around. Here's McLeod with 16 to shoot. And those shooting lanes are only open but so long as Kaylee O'Brien will take a shot. It's just wide. Savjay back behind the net. The shot clock did not reset. And Alexis Townsend very alertly jumped on that one, immediately got the referee's attention, said, hey, we did our job. So they'll move the shot clock down to 86, so for Florida Tech a chance to reset. I think Mackenzie Rafferty likes it that way. They worked it all the way down inside 10 seconds. They got a clean look there. It just didn't go. They took a bit of a gamble there defensively, and it pays off for Santarpio. Graduate out of Moorestown, New Jersey. And ahead for Mcneil. She'll be shadowed as she goes behind the net by Going. Santarpio, McLeod in the area. Now they'll play it back towards the center for Gracie Columbo. Now Gia Columbo, the older of the two, a transfer from Lenore Rhine. Lenore Rhine, a bit of an ascendant program on the women's side in recent years. Just always going to have trouble breaking through when you have Limestone. And then Queens has become quite a program in recent years. And Tampa have doubled their lead, and it's Gracie Columbo, the freshman. She had been one of their top scorers coming in. And for Gracie Columbo, that is her 17th of the season, her 17th point. It's her 7th goal. And worth noting for Columbo, she is actually the leading point scorer in the conference. That's her 17th of the season coming into today. And there's been a few games that have already played. But Columbo came into today leading the conference in points. She's actually just outside the top 10 now in goals, and it's a 2-0 lead for Tampa. It'll be an unassisted goal there for Columbo. And it looks to be McLeod on the draw control, and she'll be matched by Sarah Hinkle, the freshman from Hudson, Ohio. Hinkle almost boxing her out there. And it'll be Hinkle who wins it. And Tampa quickly looking to go to work. And they'll actually play it back into their own end at first. Almost a trip there against Sistek. And actually there is a Panther down, and that's not one you want to see. You never want to see any Panthers down, obviously, but Molly Kaplan a little slow getting up, and that's a worrisome sight. Such a valuable part of this attack, and she's going to be headed over to the bench to be checked on by the trainers, and Kylie Morris will take her place as the clock stops with 19:19 to go in the first half. Tampa so far, 3 shots on goal, and they've put home 2 of them. And they are looking for a third here. It's Emma Mclaughlin, another transfer from Jacksonville University. So Kelly Gallagher going to her bench here early on. This is her 8th season as the head coach for the Tampa women. Mclaughlin. And the shot clock down to 25, and with it is Mclaughlin. And away from going, she'll fire, and that took a bounce off the stick of Harris, but it went right to Columbo. And the shot clock a little bit late on the resetting there on that one, so they'll quickly pause play there, and I think they're going to take 2 seconds off what would have been the new possession, so to speak. Kelly Gallagher, the only head coach in the history of Tampa women's lacrosse. She was hired back on October 9th of 2012. Quite a bit of experience. She came to Tampa after 2 years at Limestone, and before that had been with Detroit Mercy at the Division I level. In her 6th season back in 2019, it was a program best 14 wins, a top 5 national ranking for the first time ever, and they got as high as 3. And a turnover will lead for Florida Tech. She was the 2019 SSC Coach of the Year, which was the 2nd straight year that she got that. And they had 2 All-Americans for the first time. They ended up finishing 7th in the IWLCA poll. I mentioned that 2019 team that really took the leap in this league. Florida Southern, Rollins, and Tampa all shared the regular season conference title that year. Tampa actually did win the conference tournament in 2019, beating Florida Southern in overtime. So they were actually able to break the stranglehold that the Mocs had on this league, but you know they'll be gunning for them here in 2021. And another turnover here for Florida Tech. They'll play over to Mclaughlin. And a strip there, and I think you might give that one to Morris. Rachel Johnson was the first to it, but I think Morris might have caused it. See what they give on the official scoring here in just a minute. Florida Tech slowing it down again, which, again, you can understand. You see the movement, and well, it's just the way Tampa move. I know there's 11 on the field. It feels like there's 21, the way they move out there. Good to see Molly Kaplan back out there, so thankfully that was just a scare a few minutes ago. As Kylie Morris will come off. Kyla Vendemia making her first appearance of the night. As Mackenzie Rafferty dips into her bench. Going the long way around here and trying to... I was thinking she might try to beat Walling on the wraparound. Ball picked up by Kaplan, heading towards the center, and the shot just wide. I'll tell you, for being short in stature, Walling really creates a tough angle to shoot. Now, part of that is a good Tampa defense, so, you know, they never really get to set. See, a lot of these Florida Tech shots have been on the run, and they're kind of at tough angles, but Walling kind of creating that too. 20 to shoot here for Florida Tech. Kaplan even with the goal on the right side. Here's O'Brien trying to beat Walling top shelf, and she got to stick to it. I think Walling knows that at her size, the stick is her friend. And she was able to knock that one down. By the way, they gave that ground ball pickup to Rachel Johnson on the exchange. A couple of caused turnovers so far. Morris getting one. So Morris is the one who actually caused the turnover. Brooke Albert with one, and Caroline McLeod with one as well. 2-0 our score as we're midway through the first half. I mentioned about Spartans coach Kelly Gallagher. Her last year as an assistant at Limestone, they went 17-2, made the NCAA tournament. She was the first assistant coach at Detroit Mercy, which began play in 2009. They were the first women's program in the state of Michigan. She handled the recruiting there as well. Before that, she was an assistant at Muhlenberg College. She played at Washington College in Chestertown, Maryland. She helped lead them to a runner-up finish in the ECAC Regional Lacrosse Championship, as Tampa have made it 3-0. And I believe that was going to be Bush who's added to the total. It'll be Mott, and that's her 5th. For Mott, the freshman out of Farmingdale, New York, adding to the lead for Tampa, and it's 3-0. For Florida Tech, they're doing a lot of things right on offense. They're being patient. They're making those extra passes. And talking about it with Mackenzie Rafferty in pregame, it was, we have to do all of the same things that we did on Wednesday night, but we've got to make them count too, because the Tampa offense can invalidate all of that. With the way they move the ball and how quickly they attack, we don't know how many good looks we're going to get. We've got to make sure they count. Emma Mclaughlin will get credited with the assist. That's her first of the year. And Tampa win the draw control thanks to Santarpio. Shot so far, 5-4 in favor of Tampa. But it tells you the efficiency of the Tampa offense. They've made them count. And part of that also crediting to how stingy the Tampa defense has been, and also a great job in net by Walling. Now, you can see why this Tampa team is hanging around the top 10. Well, that could have very nearly been an errant pass by Bush, but Mott ran it down. And Tampa will keep the possession alive. And Florida Tech are able to deal with the danger. Maggie Reed with the ground ball pickup. And Tampa win it back almost as quickly. They work it quickly from right to left for Bush, who's got acres of space, with Ashley Walter coming to close that down. Mackenzie Rafferty had a lot of good things to say about Ashley Walter's performance on Wednesday against Rollins. She said that had been Ashley's best game to date. And hopefully that's something for the sophomore from Barnegat, New Jersey to build on. I mean, it's not as if Tampa are getting a ton of free runs at goal here. They're getting great looks. But they've made those goals happen. And that could be frustrating sometimes, too, as a team, because you feel like you're doing things right and still the other team's able to score. But the defensive solidity seems to be there for Florida Tech. They've dealt with them a few times. Pump fake there from Columbo. 30 on the shot clock. This will be McGettigan. Being dealt with there by O'Brien. They keep working towards the center, and that's going to be a whistle against Olivia Going. And that one just kind of happened by accident. Olivia initiated the contact, yes, but I think her momentum just kind of took her over Santarpio on that one. And that one couldn't be helped. So Tampa will restart from about 15 yards out. There's 16 to shoot. They'll get a great look here. And that one went out and around, and they're able to convert the rebound. Bit of confusion on the redirect there because it took such a funny bounce out there. I think it hit the bar and went out to the left. And Mott was on top of it and was able to put it home. And it's 4-0 Spartans with 11:24 to go in the first half. So Mott's got 2 on the night. She's now got 6 on the season. It is a 4-0 Spartan lead. Quick look around the conference. This is the last game today. Rollins, a 15-13 win at St. Leo earlier today. Florida Southern having no trouble with Palm Beach Atlantic at home, 20-5. Florida Tech will host, or they'll be at St. Leo on Wednesday, and then Rollins versus Southern next Friday, and imagine every eye in the conference will be on that one. Go back to the center. Panthers trailing 4-0. Draw controls have been split evenly between the two, now in favor of the Spartans 3-2. Tampa's been a little bit better so far, but this is a Florida Tech team that still very much in this. And they don't appear all that overwhelmed. It's just a case of Tampa being efficient offensively, and that's really the whole difference. And you can put part of that, or a lot of that, down to Walling and the Tampa defense. Florida Tech just haven't gotten the looks that they've wanted. Now, they've had their runs on goal, but I wouldn't say any of them have been quality chances. They've been very tough. In each of those cases, it's been something where if those shots were converted, you would say it was a tremendous play. This is a Florida Tech team that still very much has the capability to get back into this game. Boy, and a bit of a late whistle there against Millie Hurd. It looked 50-50 to me. I was surprised the whistle came as late as it did. It'll be a free position attempt here for Tampa. They have the only one of the game so far. They did not convert on a save by Harris. Bounce that one, and Emily Harris put her body in front of that one to knock it down. For Emily Harris, that is her 5th save. And the freshman from Charlotte gaining a lot of experience. And for her, this has to be a bit of a reunion tonight. She also went to Charlotte Latin School, much like the Columbo sisters. Here's Townsend behind the net. Looking to work that wraparound. Oh, and a lot of contact there. There's the whistle. In that case, you don't mind the late whistle. Someone saw that, right? And this could be an opportunity for Florida Tech to convert on the free position. Florida Tech have gotten a lot better defending the free position. Opponents so far this year, counting the 2 tonight, now 8 for 26. Townsend looking to get Florida Tech's 9th free position goal of the year. She'll run from about 10 yards out, fires, goes upper 90, and she's got it. Alexis Townsend scores her 5th of the season. The Panthers are on the board with 9:45 remaining in the first half, and it's only a 4-1 ball game. And that might just be the spark plug the Panthers have needed. They've done a lot of things right, just haven't had a lot to show for it. Well, they got something now. It's 4-1. And for Alexis Townsend, career goal number 87. Florida Tech has 2 girls chasing the century mark of goals. You mentioned Townsend now at 87, Molly Kaplan at 96. And for Alexis Townsend, that is career point number 127, which keeps her 3 ahead of Molly Kaplan. It'll be Hinkle and McLeod again in the center circle on the draw control. Florida Tech, they've been fairly even on that tonight. And McLeod out jumps Hinkle on that one. And the draw control number, it's been split evenly at 3-3. Here's Townsend being checked by Natalie Spanik, the junior from Annapolis, Maryland. Well, you know, Tampa did their homework. And it's been years of experience, especially in the cases of Kaplan and Townsend. And I think they went in with a clear game plan of make someone besides 9 and 10 beat you. High pass that could have very nearly been picked off. Hurt runs it down. Another bright spot in this season so far is the freshman from Manchester, England, has looked very comfortable so far at both ends. Here's a chance for Savjay in front of the net. Contact right afterwards, but Madison Savjay's found her way onto the score sheet. And not from the easiest angle, not from that far out, but she had to leave her feet and she was twisting her body as she shot that, as she received the pass. And the Panthers have 2 quick goals inside of a minute, and with 8:55 left in the half, it's 4-2. And we might just have something here. And for Madison Savjay, her 3rd goal of the season. And that might just be the stabilizing influence that the Panthers needed to let them know, hey, we're in this. And Tampa will take a timeout, and we'll take it with them with 8:55 to go here in the first half. It's Tampa 4, Florida Tech 2. This is Panther Women's Lacrosse on the Florida Tech Sports Network. Yeah, give me like another 30.
Same year as NASA, Florida Institute of Technology helped put the space in the Space Coast. Aerospace is in our DNA. It's what we did first, and it's what we do best.
Florida Tech is developing engineers with the skill sets foundational to the aerospace industry and companies like Northrop Grumman here on the Space Coast.
The best place to put the Florida Institute of Technology is the Space Coast here in Melbourne, Florida.
Our work and your industry go hand in hand. Florida Tech stands for aerospace. Florida Tech stands for the Space Coast.
And welcome back here on the Florida Tech Sports Network. Jerry Durney here with you as we are in timeout right now. Tampa trying to reset themselves as Florida Tech with 2 quick goals. Thanks to Alexis Townsend and Madison Savjay, they're in this game. It is 4-2 with 8:55 left in the first half. And Florida Tech got that second one thanks to winning the draw control, and they made the very most of it. And I tell you, and another thing I noticed during the break, we can't let anyone into Florida Tech Panther Stadium, but they didn't say anything about anyone being around it. Quite a few cars over on the southwest side of the stadium there. I don't know if those are parents or if it's friends or students, but they're here. Much the way you see at the baseball games where people line up behind the outfield fence, which isn't in the complex. The Panthers, they've got some support here this evening. And they'll need all of it right now as they're working their way back into this. They're only down 2. McLeod, and they changed the draw control specialist for Tampa on this one. It did not matter. Millie Hurt was the one who picked it up. And Florida Tech looking to keep that momentum going. They go to work in the motions. Kaplan spinning away from one and underhands it over to Townsend. Kaplan cutting inside. A nice move there. Could have been some contact. I thought there could have been a whistle called on that one. They don't get it. And now there's one on Florida Tech. I prefer not to speak. Leave it alone on that one. We come up on 8 minutes to play in the first half. The Panthers lead 4-2. And this Florida Tech defense has largely played well here so far in this first half. And if they can do what they've been doing, they've got a chance to maybe level this thing up before the break. On Wednesday night at Rollins, they actually went into halftime up 4-3. Had a 4-1 lead early. And you really notice a lot of the goals were spaced out, so Rollins really had to work for every one of their scores. And I think Tampa's largely had to do that tonight. Well, there's a score there, but the whistle came just before the shot. Unless they're overriding that, because now Tampa's kind of swarming each other. From up here, it sounded like there was a whistle right as the shot got let go. But they're doing a stick check, and that's going to be a good goal for Tampa. I would like to know what that was. That was a very strange sequence. It's going to be a goal for Tampa. It's on the board at 5-2 with 7:26 remaining. So it'll go to Columbo. That is her second of the game. And it's her 8th of the season. And they'll say it's unassisted. It's McLeod in the draw control, and she's handled the majority of them tonight. We've generally seen it rotated so far this year. It's been between her, Molly Kaplan, Kaylee O'Brien, and occasionally Millie Hurt. Tampa do win this one, however. And for Florida Tech, now you really want to buckle down. You've done a good job of getting back into this game. Even at 5-2, that's very manageable. You don't want to let it get away too far from that. Since Harpio was the one who won the draw control, might set up a scoring opportunity here, and they have one. And that looks like Gracie Columbo, the younger sister to freshman out of Waxhaw, North Carolina. And Tampa have wiped out those two Panther goals. It's now 6-2. For Gracie Columbo, that's going to be the first goal of her collegiate career. She did have an assist this season. Hey, there's got to be something pretty cool about playing with your sibling in college. And she gets to do that. 5'6" freshman, went to Charlotte Latin High School, so high school teammates with Emily Harris, so I'm sure she had a few words after that. An international business and finance major. And she's made it 6-2 in favor of the Spartans. Spartans will be off for a week after this one. Then they'll host Lynn. Then travel to St. Leo. Then at Florida Southern. At Lynn again. And then they'll wrap up the regular season at home at the end of this month against Palm Beach Atlantic. This is Gracie Columbo. Working it over to Mclaughlin. They'll work it over towards the right. Ball at the feet of Gia Columbo. So I stand corrected. I thought there were two sisters. There's actually three. Cece's a freshman, Gracie's a freshman, and Gia is the junior. So I'd have to believe Cece and Gracie are twins. Gracie's the one with it here in the center. Play it across for Cece. Well, you can imagine what training and practicing with those three had to be like. And a point-blank save there. I believe that was Gia who fired that one, and a save from Emily Harris. And for Emily, that is her 6th of the game. I have to say, it looks like Emily has grown considerably, and Mackenzie Rafferty was very much pleased with her progress of the first couple of games of the season. You certainly can't put Wednesday night on her, and I think Emily's played rather well so far in this one. I guess another team around the top 10. 5 minutes exactly in the first half. Panthers looking to get back to the business of clawing at that deficit. McLeod lays it off for Townsend with 40 to shoot. Kaplan over to Johnson. Johnson got stripped, and she's holding her head, and I'm kind of wondering if she might have taken a stick to the head there. Play goes on. The Panthers keeping their composure and able to keep possession. McLeod here for O'Brien. Boy, not an easy angle there, and Kaylee O'Brien got it to go. A good feed from McLeod, and it was one of those, she turned and she knew exactly what she was doing the moment that got in the pocket, and all in one motion. Caught, turned, shot, and in the back of the net. And for Kaylee O'Brien, her 5th goal of the season, and it's 6-3. Some of the angles on these goals tonight on both sides have not been easy. And you want to see what they did the last time after they scored, where they won the draw control immediately. And probably about 40 seconds later, had one in the back of the net. Win the draw control, be patient, and pick your spots. 4:25 to go in the half. So for Caroline McLeod, that's her second assist of the season. Panthers so far with 7 shots on goal. They've gotten 3 to go home. 4 saves made by Walling. Poked away from McLeod, but she recovered pretty quickly and gets it to Kaplan. Panthers might have some room to run, and that's got to be a call there. That's got to be a card, and it is. That'll be against Gracie Columbo, and felt pretty blatant there against Molly Kaplan, who already had to go to the bench once with an injury scare earlier. How long is that for? So we'll await the word on the exact wording of the penalty. It'll be a 2-minute penalty for cross-checking and a card against Gracie Columbo. So Florida Tech will play with the man advantage till about the 2-minute mark. And get a chance to get back in this, make this a 2-goal game again, and at that point, you've got Tampa's attention. I think they do here. I think once Tampa thought they got it back to 6-2, it's, all right, we'll be all right. But credit to Florida Tech. They know they deserve more in this game. They've got a chance to go get that more right here. Kaplan over to O'Brien. Feel like you'll see a lot of those two here, and Johnson with the extra advantage. And Savjay was making a run in, and there was a collision. I thought Madison had taken some of it, but the Tampa defender hit the deck, and it's probably going to be a whistle against Florida Tech here as the clock stops with 3:23 to go. I don't know if that's coming from the field or if that's coming from the fan section, but a few people didn't like what was happening there. Seeing a few substitutions as Morgan Leonard will come off for Florida Tech. And if I've got that right in defense, I believe that's Millie Hurt coming back on the field. So that penalty will expire in about 1 minute and 10 seconds. It was right around the 4-minute mark when that penalty was issued. So Tampa looking to kill that off here. In the middle, it's that's Lauren Mcneil. With it now is Santarpio. Ashley Walter doing some tremendous defensive work behind the net here and cutting off the angle. Work there, and I believe that it's O'Brien. And Harris got to stick to that shot attempt. It came from the pocket of Mclaughlin, senior from Bohemia, New York. Tampa right back at it. They've got 16 to shoot. With it is Abby Selhorn, freshman from Long Island, and now 10 to shoot. And it could be a free run here for Santarpio, but great job by Emily Harris, who's equal to it. Although I wonder if they're blowing that dead. It looks like there was a foul on the play, and it might be a free position here for Tampa. I think it's going to be right before the shot attempt. The tip of the cap to Emily Harris, because she was right there with it. Now, there is only 5 on the possession clock here. Well, so much for that. They've reset it. Because you're thinking, if they can get a stop on that, that might kill enough time where Tampa's not going to get a second look, but they probably will here. And the Spartan penalty's been killed off. It could be a double whammy here. It'll be Santarpio right down the center. She'll take a free run and a save again by Harris. Can you claim ball don't lie in lacrosse? I think you can. Let's see if I can get an official ruling on that. Florida Tech, they don't score with the advantage, but they also don't fall any further behind either, and that's equally as important. Bit of a wide pass for Savjay in Tampa. Looking to do what they do best here and make something happen on the fast breaks. They play here into the middle for Mott. She's got 2 already. Into traffic and through all that, it's Selhorn. And the shot went wide. However, the Spartans, well, no, I think Kaylee O'Brien's going to play that out. So it will be Florida Tech possession as we come up on 1 minute to play in the first half. I'm going to say Emily Harris playing very well here in this first half. 14 shots on goal, but 8 saves for the freshman out of Charlotte. I believe she's already moved into 3rd all-time in program history for total saves. She'll have a little bit of work to do to catch Chloe Zador. She's got a lot of work to do to catch Stephanie Stewart, who started pretty much every game in the program's first 4 years. As we're inside the last 30 seconds, this is going. And still looking to close in on that hallowed mark. Doesn't have a caused turnover yet tonight. She does have a ground ball pickup. Boy, and O'Brien, that's got to be a cross-check there, too, as she hits the deck. It should be a free position opportunity there. I mean, you can't go that high. So the clock stops with 15.4. The possession clock's at 36. That's not going to matter because, obviously, the game clock will run out before then. But more importantly, it's a chance for Kaylee O'Brien to score here and bring the deficit back down to 2 before the break. Kaylee already has 1 goal tonight. And Walling preventing the second. Tampa looking for a late score as we're inside the last 10 seconds. Running with it here is Mott. Going there, just trying to do anything to try to redirect it. Bit of a low pass. Tampa might get one more shot. They don't get it away. And that will end the first half. The Panthers in that first 30 minutes, sturdy. And they've taken their chances when they can. And this is still very much a winnable game. We go to the intermission with Tampa leading 6-3. We got 10 minutes on that halftime clock, so we'll take about an 8-minute break, and then we'll be back with the second half here at Florida Tech Panther Stadium. Your score at halftime, Tampa 6, Florida Tech 3. This is Panther Women's Lacrosse on the Florida Tech Sports Network.
Founded the same year as NASA, Florida Institute of Technology helped put the space in the Space Coast. Aerospace is in our DNA. It's what we did first, and it's what we do best.
Florida Tech is developing engineers with the skill sets foundational to the aerospace industry and companies like Northrop Grumman here on the Space Coast.
The best place to put the Florida Institute of Technology is the Space Coast here in Melbourne, Florida.
Our work and your industry go hand in hand. Florida Tech stands for aerospace. Florida Tech stands for the Space Coast. Florida Institute of Technology is building a new bridge for the Space Coast, the Health Sciences Research Center, a bridge between engineering and anatomy, math and medicine, software and soft tissue.
The healthcare industry depends on scientific advancement and innovation, and that's why having Florida Tech here on the Space Coast is so valuable.
The best place to put the Florida Institute of Technology is the Space Coast here in Melbourne, Florida.
Our work and your health go hand in hand. Florida Tech stands for Biomedical Engineering and Health Sciences. Florida Tech stands for the Space Coast. Disruptive innovation depends on secure data, and Florida Institute of Technology helps meet the demand for both. We dream in binary code. Information assurance is part of our programming.
When it comes to cybersecurity and AI, Florida Tech is a great asset to the Space Coast.
The best place to put the Florida Institute of Technology is the Space Coast here in Melbourne, Florida.
Our work and your future go hand in hand. Florida Tech stands for cybersecurity and AI. Florida Tech stands for the Space Coast. Florida Institute of Technology treasures its home near the Indian River Lagoon and Atlantic Ocean. Seawater flows through our veins. Through in-depth marine research, we make waves.
Having Florida Tech as part of our community allows us to do world-class research along the Indian River Lagoon.
The best place to put the Florida Institute of Technology is the Space Coast here in Melbourne, Florida.
Our work and the local environment go hand in hand. Florida Tech stands for marine science and ocean engineering. Florida Tech stands for the Space Coast.
If 2020 has taught us anything, is that we must rise together through adversity.
Whether it's a global pandemic, racism, or social injustice, we can only get through these challenges if we work together.
Here at Florida Tech, we're one of the most diverse universities in the world.
There are over 30 states and 30 countries represented in our athletics department alone.
Us Panthers come in many different sizes and colors and express ourselves differently based on gender, sexual orientation, religion, or cultural beliefs.
Our diversity is our greatest strength here at Florida Tech.
We must rise together and be leaders on our campus and in our community.
Together we rise to keep our fellow Panthers, campus, and community safe during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Together we rise to make sure everyone feels empowered to be themselves.
Together we rise to make sure everyone receives equal treatment.
Together we rise to fight bigotry and hate.
No matter the obstacles, we must rise together to embrace our different strengths as one Panther family. As Panthers, together we rise.
Together we rise.
Welcome back here on the Florida Tech Sports Network. Jerry Durney with you here at Florida Tech Panther Stadium as we're at halftime and the Panthers trail 6-3 against Tampa. Tampa scored the first 4 goals of this game, and then Florida Tech getting back into it at the 9:45 mark of the first half on a goal from Alexis Townsend, which came off of a free position opportunity, as you'll see here. And for Alexis Townsend, that was her 5th goal of the year. And they went right back to it. They won the draw control, and 50 seconds later, it was Madison Savjay, as you'll see from what was a very tough angle on the wraparound. Really kind of caught it all in one motion, made it 4-2, and then after Tampa had pegged back Florida Tech for 2 of their own, an equally difficult goal there for Kaylee O'Brien, made it 6-3, and Florida Tech looking much more defensively solid, as they did on Wednesday night. And Tampa have the lead, but it doesn't feel like Tampa's really overwhelmed Florida Tech in that first half. I mean, I would say if you would look at the possession numbers, it would probably be 55-45 in favor of Tampa. But Florida Tech's done a good job of containing a lot of the chances, and Emily Harris has played very well in that first half as well. Kind of looking at the total numbers in the first half, the shots 16-10 in favor of the Spartans, 14-9 in terms of shots on goal. Emily Harris with 8 saves, 6 to Alex Walling, who's done a very good job in the Spartan net. The draw controls even at 5 apiece. Spartans have committed 4 fouls, Florida Tech with just 3. Tampa 0 for 3 in free position attempts. Florida Tech 1 for 2. Both teams 8 for 9 in clearances. Florida Tech do have 8 turnovers. 6 of them were caused. The Spartans have 5 turnovers. 3 of them were caused. Those caused turnovers, by the way, for Florida Tech, split across by Caroline McLeod, Brooke Albert, and Kylie Morris. Florida Tech had 8 ground ball pickups there in that first half. No one had more than 1, but pretty spread out between O'Brien, Savjay, McLeod, Reed, Harris, Johnson, Albert, and Going. The draw controls, by the way, 2 for McLeod and Hurt, and 1 by Kaplan. Mentioned O'Brien, Townsend, and Savjay with the goals. The assists going to McLeod and Hurt. Ready for the start of the second half in the draw control there, and it's Kaylee O'Brien that's going to be on draw control duty, and this one's still yet to be picked up, and Kaplan giving chase. And somehow out of all that, Kaplan, who had to fight off 3 different Tampa players in that sequence, was somehow the one that came out of all of that with the ball, and Florida Tech will go to work here to start the second half. They trail 6-3, but still very much in this game. Burned about 30 on the possession clock already. Townsend trying to cut in from behind the net. Plays it back out to Kaylee O'Brien. And into the middle for Morgan Leonard. You can hear the communication on the field there. Here's McLeod in the middle and now kind of bouncing to the right as things become a little bit stagnant there on the field. And Mackenzie Rafferty talked about wanted to make sure that they kept moving and stretching the defense. So Tampa right now kind of set up the way that they want as there's 20 on the possession clock. This is Rachel Johnson. She'll make that run in from the right. And the shot saved by Walling, but it's not totally secured. Florida Tech can get a fresh 90 if they can get a hold of the ball. Well, Tampa's got it for the moment, but Florida Tech can still get something here. And it looks like the Spartans deal with it. That'll be Gracie Columbo. And they've got numbers coming the other way, and this could be an opportunity for Tampa to score. And the shot is wide there from Gracie Columbo. The goal scores in that first half, by the way, for the Spartans. And it was Cece Columbo with 2. Olivia Mott had 2. Lauren Mcneil had 1. And Gracie Columbo had the other. He says between Mott and Mcneil, those were the only 2 with assists. And I think that might be a penalty against Tampa, and it will be. as the clock stops with 27:53 to go here in the first half. So it'll be a whistle against Tampa. We'll see for what and for how long. An opportunity for Florida Tech to do something here. It's a second card, I believe, against Gracie Columbo for a check to the head. I didn't hear how long the penalty was. But Florida Tech will have the advantage. This is O'Brien on the right side. Here's Rachel Johnson. This is going to be a 2-minute penalty here for Florida Tech. So that penalty will expire at about 25:53. Florida Tech going to try to make something happen here. Townsend tried to make that swerve, if you will, try to do it all in one motion there with the catch, the turn, and the shot. Didn't quite happen, and Tampa are able to recover possession. They've got numbers coming the other way. This is where they thrive. Trying to bump them off ever so slightly, and now Tampa have to settle a little bit, although I imagine that's kind of what they want to do. Play stopped for the moment with 26:41 remaining. And Tampa will play this behind the net. This is a Florida Tech team still very much finding itself. And things being the way they are this year, and it makes sense to have a conference-only schedule, and you certainly understand that. But you're not afforded the opportunity of being able to get into rhythm with an out-of-conference schedule and kind of work out all of the kinks by the time you hit conference play that you normally would. So you don't have that, and then you're playing only your league games, and it's this league, which everything's so amplified, and this is the Florida Tech team that I imagine will get better as the season's gone along, and we've seen that playing so well at Rollins on Wednesday night, and they've generally kept themselves in it, as the penalty is expired for Florida Tech. So Tampa kill that off. And they've actually got a fresh 90 here with 85 on the clock. And Tampa have extended that to match their biggest lead of the night. It is now 7-3 in favor of the Spartans. And it'll be Santarpio credited with the goal. And that is her 10th of the season. That leads the team. And I got to imagine that's near the top of the league as well. And it does move her into a tie for third. Coming in today, Fiona Mclaughlin of St. Leo, your league leader, with 15. And Delaney Crisco of St. Leo with 11. And again, this was today, so we're not counting games that may have been played today. But Santarpio now has 10, along with Rachel Johnson and Lizzie Lynch of Florida Southern. 25:38 to play in this one. It's a 7-3 lead for Tampa. And a whistle on the draw control, and I'm not sure for what. It does appear that there was some sort of violation against Tampa, so Florida Tech will take over. They work it from the middle to the right. It's Savjay. And behind the net for Townsend. Townsend and now McLeod looking for a screen from O'Brien on the left. And Tampa do a great job at cutting off those shooting lanes so that you're never getting really quality looks. It's a credit to Florida Tech that they've got 3 on the night when Tampa's made it so tough for them. Boy, and that was very nearly was a freak goal there. That one kind of took a bounce, and it appeared like it was going to go over the head of Walling it into the net. And now just as quickly, Tampa have numbers coming the other way on a fast break. This is what they've wanted to avoid. And there it is. Tampa score on the fast break. They've got their largest lead of the night. And it's now 8-3 for the Spartans with 24:28 to play. It'll go to Mott. And it's her second of the game. And for Mott, she's now got 6 this season. And Tampa, after a couple of scares there in the first half, getting themselves a little bit of breathing room. 8-3 your score for the Spartans with 24:28 to play. But credit to Florida Tech, they have not gone away quietly in this one. Looks like O'Brien on the draw control here. Tampa do win it. There was a late whistle there, but it was against Florida Tech. The draw control won by Sistek. It's now 6 draw controls won tonight by Tampa. Santarpio with 2. And then split the rest of them between Hinkle, Sistek, and the Columbo sisters. Florida Tech able to deal with it, however. And now they've got some numbers going the other way. Although they cut off the lane there for Ashley Walter, it's Hurd who's going to pick up the loose ball. A lot of contact and no whistle there. Tampa might have something. They've got the possession. Won by Sistek. 5-foot sophomore out of Whitehall, Maryland. They'll play it behind the net. Mention these two teams. This is the 7th all-time meeting. Florida Tech won the first one in April 2015, 20-10 in Tampa. And a little over a year later, back in Tampa, Florida Tech winning that day 9-6. It's a save by Harris. It's still loose in front of the net. This could be something for Tampa. It's Georgia Glowacki, freshman out of Seal Beach, California. Florida Tech able to clear it momentarily as Mclaughlin wins it back. Gracie Columbo with it. And into the middle for Mclaughlin. First meeting here was back on April 15th, 2017. Florida Tech won that day 19-13. Then on April 4th, 2018, in Tampa, a 22-13 win for the Panthers. And then they met later on that month in the SSC semifinals, Florida Tech winning that day 20-8. Again, the last time these two teams met, 2 years ago today, here at Panther Stadium, the Spartans won that one 11-6. They're looking to add on here. Shot was wide. I think that might have even glanced the post off the stick of Glowacki. Mentioned she's from Seal Beach, California, a product of one of those high schools that even if you don't necessarily follow high school sports all that much, you've probably heard of Modern Day High School. Just one of those schools that's great at everything. Especially their football program, pretty nationally well known. Tampa reset with the new possession clock. He leads 7-3. Doing a lot of work at the back. And they might have something here. And the post saving again, and I believe that was Gracie Columbo who hit the post. Harris might have got a stick to it. Okay, Lee O'Brien away from one. And now McLeod. Rachel Johnson with it. We haven't heard a lot from her tonight. Panthers leading scorer with 10 goals. O'Brien over to Townsend. It's one of those things, if you can get Rachel one or two, they'll come in bunches. Out to Leonard. And into the center for Johnson. They'll set up Kaplan inside 40 seconds to shoot. Now 10 minutes into this second half. Florida Tech now trailing 8-3. Kaplan didn't like the look of that one. She'll bring it back out. Now getting away from Mclaughlin. Fires, goes top shelf and scores. For Molly Kaplan, her 6th of the season. Her first of the night. And it's an 8-4 game. Reward for persistence there for Molly Kaplan. Kept looking at angles, kept trying to make something happen, and this Tampa defense is very tough. She was able to give Mclaughlin the slip. She went up top, able to beat Walling, and it's 8-4. And for Molly Kaplan, that is career goal number 97. That ties her with Leah Dunn for 5th most in program history. So Molly closing in on the century mark. She would become the 5th player in Panther history with 100 goals. She would join Sam Sciano, Ali Modica, Caroline Dunleavy, and of course the all-time leader, Sarah Grenier, top of the mountain at 231. But more importantly for Florida Tech, that goal gives them a little bit of hope. The whistle there goes against the Panthers. I'm going to see who the assist was credited to on that one for Florida Tech. Assist so far in this one, Kaplan's got one, McLeod with the other. For Molly Kaplan, that is career point number 125. She's 2 behind Alexis Townsend in that department. $19-12 to play. It is 8-4 in favor of Tampa. And Tampa have gotten that one right back. And that looks like Mott, and I believe that's her 4th. Well, that's Gracie Columbo. That's her 2nd of the game and season. And that'll peg Florida Tech right back at 9-4. O'Brien back in the center for the draw control. Florida Tech trailing 9-4 with 19:03 to play. As we await the signal from our official, and a whistle against Tampa, so Florida Tech will get possession. Florida Tech will need something quickly. McLeod in the middle. Interchanging with Kaplan. McLeod away from one. And did that get to Townsend? It eventually did. And the pass on that one a bit long for O'Brien. And it'll be picked up by Mott. They got room to run here, and they've got numbers, do Tampa. The shot very high, but they did have enough behind the net. They will retain possession. And we mentioned in the polls this week, the IWLCA poll, Florida Southern 5th, Tampa was 8th, Rollins 10th, and St. Leo 22nd. And in the U.S. Lacrosse Magazine poll, Tampa 5th, Rollins 11th, Florida Southern 12th, and St. Leo in the receiving votes category. Tampa still have possession here. They got a fresh 90. The shot very wide on that one. And a collision between Going and I want to say that was Riley Coleman, a freshman from Islip, New York. Wonder if her and Olivia Going have ever met at any particular point. Rachel Johnson picked this one up and had room to run, and it's going to be a whistle against Tampa. Here's McLeod. Townsend. Florida Tech being patient as they have been all night. And they play now into the middle for Kaplan. And it's going to be a whistle against Florida Tech. I think that was away from the ball. Here's Mott. Just got past Kaplan and sent it ahead for Hannah Bush. Another excellent game in defense by Ashley Walter. Doing a good job on Bush here. Heavy traffic in front of the net, and Harris coming away with the loose ball there. As a matter of fact, that might be Brooke Albert who had it. It could have been Going. Again, Going needs just 2 caused turnovers for 100. We'll get that stat feed for you back in a minute. They play on the right for Johnson. And I believe we have a timeout called by Florida Tech, and we do. We'll take it with them with 14:57 to play. It's Tampa 9, Florida Tech 4. You're watching Panther Women's Lacrosse on the Florida Tech Sports Network. Back here at Panther Stadium, About halfway through the second half, 14:57 remaining. And it's Tampa 9, Florida Tech 4 on what's been a record-setting afternoon here at Florida Tech Athletics. Softball coach Val Silvestrini becoming the winningest coach in Florida Tech softball history today as Panther softball sweeping a doubleheader from Nova Southeastern. Panther men's lacrosse taking on Tampa this afternoon. They lost that game 16-7. However, Reed Chaconis tying Andrew Conley for the most goals in program history. He scored 2 in the fourth quarter. He now has 96 career goals, which ties him with Andrew Conley, so he'll have a chance to set it at home Tuesday at 4 o'clock when the Panther men will host Florida Southern in a makeup game. We'll have that for you right here on FloridaTechSports.com. Panther women won't be home for a little while after this. They'll spend the next 2 weeks on the road. On Wednesday, they will go to St. Leo. That'll be a 4 p.m. start. We'll have the broadcast links for you here on FloridaTechSports.com. They'll be off next weekend. Then on Wednesday the 14th, they'll go down to Palm Beach Atlantic, a 7 p.m. start in that one. Their next home game after tonight, 2 weeks from today, on Saturday, April the 17th, when they take on Florida Southern. That'll be a 1 p.m. start. Matter of fact, the women will close the season with 3 at home. April the 17th against Florida Southern, Wednesday the 21st against Rollins, and then Sunday, May the 2nd against Lynn. Florida Tech have possession here as we restart. 14:50 to go. There's Caroline McLeod in the middle from the feed of Kaplan. Tampa doing a great job blocking the shooting lanes here, and it's made it tough for Florida Tech tonight. They've really had to work for their goals. .33 to shoot. Townsend, even with the goal line, trying to get the angle on Walling, who's done a phenomenal job. Kaplan can't quite get away there, even with all her speed. 14 to shoot for Florida Tech. There's Morgan Leonard, running from about 25 yards out on the right. She'll take a run at it. Doesn't go there. She'll lay it off for Townsend. 5 to shoot. Panthers need to get something on the net, and they're not going to get it. That's knocked away. Tampa will take over. The opportunity going by the boards for Florida Tech. 9-4 your score with 13:40 to go. Great job by Maggie Reed to win that and not commit the foul there against Mcneil. Okay, the whistle stopped, and I thought, oh, well, now they call the foul. But no, it's actually going to be against Tampa. Here's Reed, freshman, on her birthday today. So happy birthday to Maggie, if we haven't said that already. I know we've mentioned it's her birthday, but mentioning it and wishing, obviously two different things. Of course, we're happy to have Maggie here. Savjay over to Kaplan. 12:35 to play. The Panthers down by 5. And I think Walling intercepted the pass on that one as I believe Savjay was trying to play that across. Tampa had the opportunity there, and I believe that was Reed who came up with the steal. And here's McLeod with some room to run on the other end. Kaplan. Florida Tech still staying patient with it, and credit to them. Not deviated from the game plan, and it's kept them in it. Tampa haven't had too many breakaways tonight. And Florida Tech, about 11 minutes to go, still in it. 9-4 is your score. Here's McLeod, 28 to shoot. Can't quite get away there, and this is excellent defense being applied by Danny Waters. And McLeod fought through it anyway. Caroline McLeod gets the goal. That is her 5th of the season, and it's a 9-5 game with 10:49 to go. Well, I thought that was McLeod. It's actually Kaylee O'Brien. That's her 2nd of the game. So McLeod will get the assist. That's her 2nd of the year. For Kaylee O'Brien, that's her 2nd goal of the night and 6th of the season, and it's 9-5 with 10:49 to go. And O'Brien will be back in the center circle for the draw control. She'll be working against Sarah Hinkle. Credit to Florida Tech. They have not gone away in this one. 9-5 the score with 10:49 to play. And Florida Tech win it. It's Millie Hurt. And quickly into the Spartan end. Across, and a bit of an errant pass there to Brooke Albert, and the opportunity goes by. Tampa's doubled up the Panthers in shots, 27-14. However, in terms of the shots on goal, it's a bit closer, 21-13. Here's Gracie Columbo. Hinkle staying in the game. Freshman from Hudson, Ohio. Now Mclaughlin. Over for Riley Coleman, a freshman from Islip, New York. Spartans taking their time. It's Bush behind the net. Now they'll play it back, going from left to right. Here's Mcneil. Inside 40 seconds on the shot clock. We're inside the final 10 minutes of this one. The run here from Mclaughlin, and it went bottom left there, past Harris, and Tampa restore their lead back to 5. It's now 10-5 with 9:28 to go. Mclaughlin will get the goal on that one. And that's her 3rd of the season. The sophomore from Bohemia, New York. Another transfer out of Jacksonville University. It'll be O'Brien and Hinkle on the draw control. We'll await the signal from our official. Tampa quickly going back to work. Well, the Florida Tech are able to get the turnover here, and it's Ashley Walter doing a great job tonight in defense. .8:19 to go. Florida Tech trailing by 5, but still staying very much in it. Here's Rachel Johnson. Play it back to Kaplan on that right side. Nearest defender is Mclaughlin in this case. Here's O'Brien. Even with the goal, and they'll play it across for Leonard. Boy, Johnson got fouled there. No call. Very surprised on that one. Took quite a bump on that one. And I believe that was Natalie Spanik. Whistle there as the clock stops with 7:27 to go. With it now is Bush. Had one early in the game. Aaron pass that could go to anybody. And did Rachel Johnson come up with that one? She did. Chance for Florida Tech to get something back here inside the last 7 minutes. Over to Going as she'll cross midfield. Johnson over for Kaplan. Will lay it off for Townsend. 45, so about halfway through the possession clock. So we come up on 6 minutes. Townsend back to Kaplan. You think the angle's there, but Tampa just closes so well. And then it might be a turnover here. Townsend does get it back, and that should be a whistle on the Spartans, and it is. It's going to be against Danny Waters. So Florida Tech will restart from that left side. 25 on the shot clock, 5:56 remaining. Townsend trying to get the free run there on Walling, and I think Walling redirected that. But she has been very impressive as a freshman. Tell you, when you look at the hierarchy in the Sunshine State Conference for women's lacrosse, it's Florida Southern, but Tampa very much sending a statement that they intend to defend their title here in 2021. It'll be them. You'll see St. Leo and Rollins. And we're not even seeing Embry-Riddle this year, who are opting out. But an Embry-Riddle team that was starting to make strides in its first 2 seasons. This is the most competitive league in Division II, and I don't think it's close. 55 on the shot clock here for Florida Tech. It's Morgan Leonard being guarded by Mclaughlin. Townsend run to the inside, try to get a streaking Caroline McLeod on the inside. O'Brien's able to make the recovery. O'Brien away from one. Tried to force that into traffic for Kaplan. Boy, they are letting them play tonight. And I say this, and it's no bias, because there hasn't been a lot that's been called. They have to call that. I mean, if you're not going to call the foul there on Leonard, I mean, let's just pack it up. Or at least just say it's a scrimmage. It's going to be a card there against Tampa. I'm assuming that's a 2-minute penalty there, and I believe that was Aaron Sistek. We await the call. Clock stopped with 4:44 to play. And that was on Alexis Scadillo, graduate student from Millstone, New Jersey, who will get the penalty. They'll reset the shot clock for Florida Tech. They trail 10-5 with 4:44 to play. Looks like they've got the housekeeping taken care of, so we'll be back underway. And it'll be Morgan Leonard, who's even with the goal on the left side, right on that goal line. Over to Rachel Johnson. Cloud runs into the middle and sends for Townsend, who, with a rare turn in front of the net, although looks like this will head back to her spot. There's McLeod over to Leonard. He'll set up again for McLeod. Leonard had the moment there for ever so briefly. It's Townsend and cut off by Mclaughlin. So they'll have the advantage until the 2:44 mark unless they score. Here's McLeod, and this could be a free look here for Florida Tech. And Rachel Johnson took a hit, and I think that hit the side netting. Tampa quickly has numbers the other way. And they can kill off the rest of the penalty here potentially. This is Mott, who I believe has a hat trick. We'll get that stat feed for you in just a moment. And that's out of bounds. And I believe Florida Tech had the numbers. So it'll be Panther ball with about 50 seconds left on the penalty. Olivia Going running with it as she clears midfield and gets it ahead to Townsend. Mott does have a hat trick. And she also has an assist to go with it. That does lead the way. Her and Columbo. I should specify Cece Columbo with 3 points, but Mott has 4. When you score for Florida Tech, it's O'Brien with 2 goals, and McLeod has 2 assists, and we've got the clock stopped. 8 seconds left on that penalty. We'll see what the call is here. Should be a free position opportunity here for the Panthers, and that's going to be Kaplan. Tried to go low, and Walling was there. She has been phenomenal tonight. And I believe now for Walling, we check the save total. She's now into double digits. Emily Harris, by the way, with 12. Might have to make another one here, as this is Glowacki. 2:20 to play. Tampa looking like they're going to be on their way to their 4th win of the year. With it now is Abby Selhorn, freshman from Westerbury, New York, I believe on Long Island. The Panthers still playing like it's very much at stake. You like to see that there hasn't been any drop in performance, hasn't been any drop in the effort. They're still playing this like a 1-goal game, and that's good to see. Harris over to Reed, and now for Walter, who's played really well once again tonight. Come up on the last 60 seconds of this one. Here's Townsend. I tell you, it's going to be interesting to see some of these matchups in the conference as we get towards the end of the regular season and then towards the conference tournament. Townsend laying it back for Morgan Leonard. Kaplan with 30 to shoot and 42 on the game clock. They get a move to the right. They close off the angle. Tried to get it for Savjay. I thought she got hit. Might have got knocked with the stick. They don't call it. 17 to shoot here. They're still trying to work for Savjay. And again, and she immediately put her hands up trying to say, hey, look, what did you want me to do? But no call again. And that's going to be lost out of bounds by Kaplan. And that likely will be the final attack of the game for Florida Tech. Well, you credit the effort here tonight. I'd say this was a good job put in by Florida Tech against what is a top 10 team in Tampa. But you can see all the reasons why this is a top 10 team. They are very good. And they emerged victorious tonight with a 4-1 victory, or I should say a 10-5 win over Florida Tech. The Spartans are now 4-1 on the season. They'll be off till next Saturday when they host Lynn. The Panthers, they'll be back in action this Wednesday at St. Leo. That'll be a 4 p.m. start. We'll have the broadcast links for you here on FloridaTechSports.com. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, April the 17th at 1 p.m. when the Panthers host Florida Southern. A 1 p.m. start right here from Panther Stadium. My name is Jerry Durney, signing off from Florida Tech Panther Stadium in Melbourne, where once again your final score tonight was Tampa 10, Florida Tech 5. You've been watching Panther Women's Lacrosse on FloridaTechSports.com. Good night, stay safe, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks.